Hey everyone, thanks for joining Learn to Play Games. My name is Lance, and in today's video we'll be playing through a brand new game coming to Kickstarter called Mantle of the Keeper. This is a new one from Strongbox Games. It is a 2 to 4 player game that takes roughly 20 to 40 minutes to play, and is a competitive game where all the players are competing with each other to be the last player standing, or you can also choose to play as teams battling it out, and the last team standing will be the winner. So in the game itself, the universe is broken up into all kinds of different realms, and each one of these realms needs a protector or a keeper to watch over it and make sure that everything stays stable for the people of that realm. And one of the realm's keepers has died, and so the Ascended have selected their chosen, which are going to be the players, battling it out in different combat trials to try to prove themselves so that they can be the next keeper of this new realm. So in this video, I'm going to be playing through a couple of 1 versus 1 games. As these play very quickly, I'm going to be playing the Ranger versus the Dark Mage first, and then I'll be playing the Assassin versus the Nomad in my second game. Now, it is important with these to point out that all of the materials you see here are prototype materials and are subject to change and will look a lot better in the final production copy of the game. They're also fine-tuning some of the rules and making sure that all the decks are balanced at this point, so some of these things might change slightly from some of the ones that you're going to be seeing in these videos. Other than that, in the game itself, this is about tactical movement and managing your hand and keeping and trying to time when the best time to attack is, making sure you have some cards in your hand for some defense, and being able to get favor that you can use for a variety of different things, increasing your movement, being able to draw additional cards, and a number of other things. And then each character also will have additional abilities that they can unlock throughout the game by spending that favor. So you're going to have to utilize all kinds of different things to be able to master this and come out as the next keeper. So as always, if you find these videos helpful, if you like what I do, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel. It's one of the easiest ways you can support channels like mine so we can continue to grow and be able to produce this content. If you also want to get notifications anytime I release new videos, also consider ringing the bell and you'll get notifications when I drop some new stuff. So let's head to the table and we'll see who becomes the next keeper. Alright, so we're ready to dive into the first battle, but before we do, the one other thing that I do want to point out is that there will be 2 versions of this game. As you already saw, there are going to be a standard version, which will have standees, and then there's going to be a deluxe version, which will have the miniatures as well. And again, these are just prototypes. They are 3D printed miniatures at the moment, but they look beautiful. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into it. My Dark Mage is going to be the starting player, or the first player each round, and so during each player's turn, it's broken down into a number of phases, or 3 phases. The first one is the income phase, where you're going to gain 1 favor on your track, and then you'll get to draw an additional card. From there, once you've completed that, you have to announce that you've completed it, and then you'll move on to the action phase. So during the action phase, you're going to get to play different cards and move around, and you're allowed to do 2 actions. These actions can either be to draw a card or to play a card. Now, during these phases, you can also choose to spend your favor. You'll be able to do that to carry out a number of different things, including unlocking your new abilities, being able to spend 2 favor to draw an additional card, and a number of other things depending upon your character. So let's go ahead and jump in. So right now I don't have range, as my mage has a range of 3 normally, and each one of his cards will also list range, which is going to be 3. So I'm going to have to move first. So I'm going to go ahead and move into this rift here for 1, and I have a movement of 3, so 2 and 3. From there, now I have range 1, 2, 3, and I have line of sight, which is determined by drawing a straight line from the center of my space to the center of my target space. From there, I can choose to play a card. So let's go ahead and start off with, I'm going to try this one here. So this is Tomb of Darkness. This is going to have an attack of 6 or a defense of 2. And obviously I'm using it for an attack. And then I'm also going to drop a Shadow Potion on there, which is going to increase that attack by 2. Now, this one has a couple of icons. It is not considered an action, and it also cannot be stacked. So I cannot choose to play another modifier card on top of this one. All right, so from there, then it shifts over to the archer to try to defend this. And he gets to play 1 defense card to try to stop some of this damage. And so he does have this one here. This is going to give him a defense of 5. So he's going to reduce that incoming damage of 8 by 5 points, but he's still going to take 3 points of damage. That'll bring him down to 17. Now, each point of damage that each of the players does will also get them favor. So the mage did 3 damage, so he's going to get 3 more favor points. And these will be discarded. And then it goes back to his turn to be able to play one more card if he wants to. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to play this one here, Magical Inheritance. And this one lets me draw 2 cards, which is not an action. So I'm going to go ahead and discard that and draw 2 new cards. Okay. And then let's go ahead and do... I'm going to go ahead and do this one, which is also not an action. This is Summon the Dead. Select and draw 1 card from the discard pile or gain 3 favor. So I'm going to go ahead and gain 3 favor. That'll put me up to 7. And I am going to... I'm going to go ahead and play this one here. So this is Curse of the Wicked. All opponents must discard 2 cards in their hands, and then players that cannot discard 2 cards or elect not to are dealt 2 damage per card not discarded. And this one has no range and does not need line of sight, so he can target anybody anywhere on the board. So from there, my ranger has to choose what he's going to do, and he's going to go ahead... Ooh. I'm going to go ahead and choose to drop 1 card, the Heirloom Bow, and then I'm going to take the 2 damage because I don't want to drop a second card right now. All right, and so then it goes back to me, and I'll pick up 2 favor for doing the damage there. And that is the 2 actions that I can do, and I'm only allowed to move once during my turn. So at this point, I'm going to choose to spend some of that favor. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock the Ancient Wisdom. So at the end of your turn effect, if he has 3 or more favor on his track, he gets to draw a card. So that'll drop it down to 4, and that'll unlock that. And I think that's it. So that'll trigger at the end of the turn. He does have 3 or more favor, so he's going to get to draw an additional card for that. All right, and that is all he's going to do. So it's going to pass over to the ranger now. So the ranger is going to go. He's going to start his turn by gaining a favor, and he will draw a card. All right. And then he's going to start off by doing this. So this is a tracker, so it's going to select a character within line of sight. So the archer is in line of sight right now. And so the controlling player loses 2 favor, and I gain 2 favor. And this is not an action. Next, I'm going to try, as my first action, the Heirloom Bow. So this is going to do 5 damage to the mage. And so the mage is going to have to try to defend against this. And he's going to go ahead and play Barrier of Shadows. So this one gives him a defense of 6. So he has stopped all of the damage. And in that situation, when you have a perfect defense and you don't take any damage, you actually will gain 2 favor. So that was pretty helpful there. And then next, I'm going to go ahead and also do double shot. So this one is an attack. I get to attack twice, and each one counts as 4 damage. Choose how the attack is distributed to nearby opponents. So I'm just going to throw everything in the mage, and so he's going to have 4 more damage coming his way. And so he's going to go ahead and play the Hood of Darkness. So this one is a defend of 4, and then move the attacking character 3 spaces, even if I don't take any damage. So I'm going to completely block one of those attacks. Again, I get the 2 points for that. And then I'm going to get to move him, but I'm going to resolve the rest of that attack first. So the archer was able to get that second attack through doing 4 damage to my mage, which will also get him 4 points on his favor track. Then the mage is going to go ahead and move. I can move him up to 3 spaces. So I'm going to go ahead and move him right onto that cracked area there. and that is going to deal a damage to him. And that is it for my Dark Mage. So I'm going to gain another favor for that. And it goes back over to my character, or my ranger, to take the rest of his turn. So at this point, he is going to go ahead and move. So I'm going to move 1, which gets me an additional movement point for moving into there. And so now I have 2 more points instead of just having 2 left. So let's go here, and I think I'm going to stay there. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and spend, let's see what we got here. I'm going to go ahead and buy the light travel, 1, 2, 3, which again basically works the same way as his. If I have 3 or more favor at the end of my turn, I get to draw a card, and I do. So I'm going to go ahead and draw an additional card there. All right, so his turn is done. So we're going to move back over to the Dark Mage to take his turn. So he's going to go ahead and draw a card and gain a favor at the beginning of his turn, and that is over now. So then he'll move into the remaining part of his turn. So I'm going to go ahead and spend. All right, and that's going to let me draw 2 cards. So let's see what I got here. So we got Shadow Potion and Curse of the Wicked. All right, so I'm going to need to get some back in line of sight here. So I'm going to have to move again. So I'm going to go ahead and shift down here 2 spaces. Now I have line of sight. And let's go ahead and do Dragon Scales. I'm going to go ahead and throw that Shadow Potion on there again. So this is going to do 7 damage to him. And our Ranger has a Quiver, which is going to give him 5 defense. So he's going to take 2 more points of damage. And that'll give my Wizard 2 more. All right, that was the first action. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and do I'll spend 2 more and draw another one. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do Dark Wilds, and then I'll add a modifier, the Staff of Misfortune, which is going to add 2 more to that, and then I get to draw a card even if I don't do any damage. All right, so then it's over to him, and he's going to go ahead and play his last card, the Weave, which is going to give him 5 defense, so he's only going to take 1 point of damage, and I'll pick up another favor. Now he's out of cards, and I am done as I've spent my 2 actions. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to these, so I will end my turn there, and then I will get to draw another card due to the Ancient Wisdom. All right, and he still has this ability, which I have not used yet, but when I draw a card, due to taking an action to do so, then I get to draw 2 and discard 1 from my hand. All right, so that will finish off his turn. So we're back over to the Ranger to go at this point. So the Ranger is going to get to gain a favor and draw a card. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 more to draw a second card here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play Explosive Arrow. So this one is going to attack for 5, and then the target must discard a card in hand of their choice, even if there's no damage done. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Crystal Heart, which is going to stop all of the damage, which is going to give me a perfect defense, and I'll get 2 favor for that. But then I am going to have to discard a card due to that effect. So let's go ahead and drop Ancient Knowledge. All right, that was his first action. And let's spend 2 more and draw another card. So I'm going to go ahead and do Barbed Arrow. And our mage is going to go ahead and play the Shadow Cloak. That's going to stop 5, so he's going to get 1 point, and the mage will take another damage. So the mage's defense has been very strong so far. That is going to be it for my character, so I'm going to go ahead and move over here as my movement, and then my turn will be over. So at the end of my turn, I get to trigger his ability. So I do not have that, so I'm only going to have this. You know what? I'm going to spend my last 2 to gain another card. That way I have a couple cards in hand, just in case. Now, each player's hand limit is 6, so that is the maximum that I can have at the end of my turn. All right, so that is it for the Ranger. We are back over to the Mage to go. So he's going to gain 1 and get to draw a card. And I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 more to draw another card. So that gives him a couple of choices. He's going to go ahead and do, as his first action, Curse of the Wicked. So again, all opponents must discard 2 cards in hand. Players that cannot discard 2 cards or elect not to are dealt 2 damage per card not discarded. So again, he's going to go ahead and drop the tracker card. I think I'm going to hold on to this one, so I'm going to take 2 more. So that puts him down to 9. He's going to pick up 2 more for that. So that is his first action, as he didn't need line of sight for that one. And then I do have a movement of 3. So 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to spend another 1 so that I can gain an extra movement point and put me over here. And now I'm back in line of sight. So then I'm going to do Raging Wind as my second action. He's going to go ahead and play Perfectly Balanced, which is going to stop that, and that'll give him 2 as a perfect defense. And then I'm going to go ahead and spend a couple more to draw another card. All right, and at the end of my turn, I do have more than 3, or 3 or more, so I'm going to get to draw a card for that. And that will finish off my mage. So back over to my ranger to go. He's going to gain 1 and get to draw a card, and that will end that part. And I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 more to draw another card. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start off by doing Long Shot. That's 7 damage to the mage, and I have range. So my mage is going to play his offense there, and so it's going to stop 4 points of damage of that. So he's going to take 3 more, 1, 2, 3, and then I'll pick up 3. And then I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 of those to draw another card. I'm going to go ahead and do Double Shot. So this one again is going to attack for 4 points for 2 attacks. And my mage is going to, I'm going to go ahead and play that Conjured Storm, which is going to stop 3 points, so he's going to take 1 there. And then the second one's going to go through and do 4 more. So that helped my ranger out a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and draw another card, and then I'm going to go ahead and move. I can move 2 spaces, so I'm going to go ahead and shift up there. All right, back over to my mage. He gets to draw and gain 1, and then I do get that as well, so I get to gain 1 for that. And then I'm going to draw some cards here. So let's see what my mage can do here. That last double shot was a big hit, so we'll see what we can do. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start by doing this attack here, which is going to do 5 plus the modifier of 1, and it's going to add 1 to the attack or defense and then gain 2 even if it doesn't do any damage. All right, so I'm going to do 6 to him, and I'm going to do the heirloom bow to stop 3 of that. So I'm going to take 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to gain 3 more for my guy. And then I'm going to spend 2 more, or 4 to draw 2 more cards. And let's go ahead and spend 2 more, draw 1 more card. Let's go ahead and do Hood of Darkness. So that is going to, oh, that's for defense. Never mind. Whoops. Wrong card. So I'm going to do Conjured Storm instead. That's 5 damage. My mage, or my wizard, ranger. Ranger. Ugh. So I think I'm just I'm gonna take the hit because I don't really have much else to defend against it. That's gonna put me up to 8. And then that is the end of his turn, so then he is going to move. So I'm gonna go ahead and move back here. All right, and then I get to draw a card because of his Ancient Wisdom. And then it's over my ranger's turn, so I'm going to gain 1 and a card. And right away, I am going to... That's not good. All right, so I'm going to have to move. So I'm going to go 1, 2. And then I'm going to spend 2 more of that to be able to move here. All right, so I do have a range of 4 at this point. So I'm going to go do Steady Aim. That's going to do an attack of 6. And I'm going to go ahead and play Barrier of Shadows. That's a perfect defense. So I'm going to pick up 2 more favor for that. And... I'm going to go ahead and play Tripwire, which is an attack of 4, and then I get to move up to 3 spaces even if there's no damage done. So, and then he's going to go ahead and play that to stop that 4 damage. So nothing's done there, but then I'm going to move up to 3, so I'm going to move here. Gives me a couple extra movement points. All right. And I'm just going to go ahead and keep it there. That way I get to draw that card. And that will finish off my turn. So we're back over to the wizard to go. So I get to draw and gain 1. And my first action, I'm going to go ahead and play Curse of the Wicked. This guy has to discard 2 cards or take 2 damage per card. So he's going to go ahead and drop this 2 cards. As he can't do, he can't take any damage at this point. So then I'm going to go ahead and spend 2, 4, 3. I'm going to draw 3 cards. All right, and fortunately I'm a little far away at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and play Magical Inheritance. Lets me draw 2 cards. So I'm trying to find that other cursed card, Curse of the Wicked, because if I can get that, then I can finish him off here. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to pull it though. I'm at 5, so I'm going to draw 1 more. No luck. So I'm going to go ahead and move 2 and 3. All right, so then it's going to go back over. I'm at 6, so I will not get to draw my card at the end. So it's back over to my other character. He's going to gain 1 and get to draw a card. He has 5. And then he's going to go ahead and move out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I do have range. So I'm going to go ahead and play Explosive Arrow. This is an attack of 5, and the target must discard a card from their hand of their choice. So I'm going to go ahead and play Crystal Heart, which blocks the 5. So it's perfect defense, and then I have to discard a card from my hands. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the Dark Wilds. And then my guy is going to go ahead and spend 2 to draw a card. And then my guy is going to go ahead and spend 2 to draw a card. And then my guy is going to go ahead and spend 2 to draw a card. And then my guy is going to go ahead and spend 2 to draw a card. And then my guy is going to go ahead and spend 2 to draw a card. And then my guy is going to go ahead and spend 2 to draw a card. And then my guy is going to go ahead and spend 2 to draw a card. And then my guy is going to go ahead and spend 2 to draw a card. And then my guy is going to go ahead and spend 2 to draw a card. And then my guy is going to go ahead and spend 2 to draw a card. And then my guy is going to go ahead and spend 2 to draw a card. And then my guy is going to go ahead and spend 2 to draw a card. And then my guy is going to go ahead and spend 2 to draw a card. And then my guy is going to go ahead and spend 2 to draw a card. And then my guy is going to go ahead and spend 2 to draw a card. And then my guy is going to go ahead and sp All right, and that is not going to help him at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and do the draw card action. Lets me gain a card. So I'm going to shuffle this up. And that's pretty much all I can do. So that'll finish off my turn there. And it's going to go over to my Dark Mage. So he's going to gain 1 and get to draw a card. Still do not have what I'm looking for yet. But I'm going to go ahead and move up. And then I'm going to go ahead and do Tomb of Darkness with the Staff of Misfortune. So that's going to be 8 damage onto my Ranger. And that's pretty much going to do it because I have Vantage Point, which lets me get defense for 3, and then I can discard any number of cards from my hand. For each card discarded, I get +3 defense, but that's only going to get me to 6. I'm still going to take 2 damage, and that will finish off my Ranger. So he has been defeated, and the Dark Mage is the winner of this particular match. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and set up the other match, and I'll be right back. All right, so the second game in the series is going to be pitting the Assassin against the Nomad, and these are really interesting characters. Obviously, she's going to be moving around really quick and trying to do a lot of damage from the shadows, and the Nomad is all about being able to deflect and do damage based on different things as well. So it's going to be a really interesting battle. So let's go ahead and move into it with our Assassin to start it off. So she's going to start her turn. She's going to gain her favor and a card. And then she is on to her action phase. So let's go ahead and start by doing a move action as I have no line of sight right now. So I'm going to go ahead and move 1, 2. That gets me in another point of action. 3 and actually, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then to get out of there, I have to spend 2 points. So I don't have 2 points, so I'm not going to be able to do that this turn. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I don't want to necessarily go onto that space there. Now she has a range of 2, which I don't have a line of sight to him at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and start by I'm going to do a small attack. I'm just going to do regular attack here onto that space and destroy that. So that'll remove that token there. And then as my second action, I'm just going to go ahead and draw a card. All right. And then from there, I will end my turn. So at the end of my turn, I get to gain another favor for that. Okay. On to the Nomad. So he's going to start off his turn. He has 3 movement points as well. And let's see what we got here. All right. So he's going to go ahead and move. He gets his thing and card. So we both have a lot of cards at this point. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. He'll have to spend his favor to be able to do that. All right, so he's going to go ahead and attack then. So he's going to go ahead and play Means to an End. That's going to do 6 damage. And let's see what she's got here. So she's going to play Adorned Cowl, and that's going to stop 5 of that. So she's going to take a damage, and he'll pick up a favor for the 1 point. All right, he's got 1 action left. So let's go ahead and play Trusty Tool. And she is going to go ahead and play Binding Time. That's going to stop 3 of that, so she's going to take 2 more damage, and he'll get 2 more favor. And that will finish that off, and he has nothing left at this point. So he's going to go ahead and spend the 3 to be able to unlock the Favor Fury. So at the end, it's the end of turn effect, gain 2. All right, so now I'm going to move into the end of turn. So I get Long-Winded. At the end of the turn effect, I get to move him up to 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. No, let's see, what do I want to do? 1, 2, 3. I'm moving up there. And then I also gain 2 favor for that, for this one now. All right, I think that will be it for my turn. So we're going to be over to the assassin and see what she can do here. All right, so she's got a range of 2. All right, and she's going to gain a favor and a card. All right, let's see here. All right, she's going to move as well. She can move 3, so she's going to go ahead and move right on up in there, and she's going to try her twin daggers. So an attack an adjacent opponent twice for 4 each if there is any successful damage, plus 1 to the total damage. So over to my guy here, he's going to go ahead and he's going to go ahead and do sidestep. So this is going to defend 3 and then deal 2 damage to the attacker if they are nearby. So our attacker is nearby, so she's going to take 2 and he's going to gain 2 for that. But then she is going to go ahead and do 1 damage for the 1 attack. And then she does the second one that's going to get through. So that's going to be 4 more plus an additional 1 for the plus 1. So that's going to be 5 more to him. So he's going to take down to 14. She's going to pick up 5 for 9. And then she's going to go ahead and spend 3 to unlock her Hidden Blade. So this is when attacking, if she has 4 or more favor, she is going to do an additional damage on her attacks. So that's really nasty. And then she's also going to do Not So Fast. This is a attack of 6. If there is any successful damage, move the defending character 3 spaces. And so he's going to go ahead and play Turn the Other Cheek. So I'm going to defend half the amount of the incoming damage, round it up. So she's going to do 7 damage because of her Hidden Blade now. So he's going to stop 4 of that. So 3 is going to get through. 1, 2, 3, and she's going to get 3. Then deal half of the damage of the incoming attack back to the attacker rounded up. So he's actually going to do 4 damage to her. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because of his card. So he is super nasty with that stuff. All right. And then she can move him 3 spaces. So 1, 2, 3. All right. That is the end of her turn. So she's going to gain 1 at the end of her turn. Well, let's see if I want to do anything else before I get to that point. So I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 to draw a card. Try to get some more defense there. And yeah, I think at that point I'm good. So at the end of the turn, she's going to gain 1. And that will finish off her turn. So we're back over to the Nomad. He's going to gain 1 and draw a card. And he's going to go ahead and spend 5 of that to unlock his last ability. So that is the Bear. It adds +2 to all attacks on adjacent opponents. So from there, he's going to go ahead and move. So 1, 2, 3. So now he's adjacent to her. And we'll go ahead and spend 2 more to draw another card. So I'm going to go ahead and do Old Tricks. So that's going to be 5, and he is adjacent, so she is going to take 7 here. So she's going to play equal opportunity. That's going to stop 4 of that. So she's going to take 3. 1, 2, 3. And he's going to deal 3. 1, 2, 3. So that was his first. And let's just do force of habit. So that's going to do 7 more to her. And she has equal opportunity again, so she's going to take 3 more. And I'll pick him up. Oof, nasty. All right, so that is pretty much all he can do. So he's going to spend 2 more to draw 2 more cards, keeping that going. All right. And then at the end of the turn, he can move up to 3 spaces. Go ahead and shift over there. And then he also gains 2 favor at the end of his turn. All right, back over to the assassin. Things are heating up there. She took some pretty good damage there, so she's going to get 1 and 1. And then let's go ahead and spend 2 more to draw another card. Okay, so she's going to go ahead and start by doing poisoned arrows. So this is an attack of 5. If there's any damage done, the total is going to increase by 1. And then with her hidden blade, she is also going to add 1 damage to that. So she's doing 6 right now unless he stops it. And he doesn't have big enough defense for that. So he's going to go ahead and play this one here. So that's going to stop 4. She's going to do 6 plus an additional 1 because there was damage done. So 7. So he's going to take 3. 1, 2, 3. And then she'll pick up 3 more. All right, that was her first. She's going to spend 2 of that to draw another card. And let's go ahead and do Angel of Death as well. So this is going to be a 7-point attack. And he's going to play Old Tricks. So he's going to stop 3 of that. So she's going to deal 4 damage to him. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's down to 4 hit points. She picks up 4 more. She's going to go ahead and spend... She's got 12. So I'm going to spend 5 of that to unlock her last ability, which allows her to ignore all movement restrictions. And then let's go ahead and let's move. So I'm going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3 and spend 1 more to move over here. As with her avoiding movement restrictions now, she does not get penalized by moving through the obstacles. All right, that is going to finish off her turn. So at the end of her turn, she gets to gain a favor. And I think I'm good there. All right, so it's going to be back over to my nomad to go. He is going to draw a card and gain 1. All right. Then you're going to go ahead and spend 2, draw another card. All right. So I'm going to do Fortunate Travels. This one lets me move into 2 spaces. If an opponent is nearby after the movement, randomly select one of their cards in their hand to discard. And this is not an action. So I'm going to go ahead and move 2. I'm going to take 1 damage for that. And then I'm going to select one of her cards randomly. So I don't know which one I'm going to be taking here. So let's do that one. Ooh, her ambush card. That sucks for her. That works for him. All right, so that will finish off that. I still have 2 actions remaining. Let's go ahead and do Regretful Conflict. So this is 6 damage plus the 2 because he is adjacent to her now because of his bear ability. And she is going to do... She's going to do Smoke Bomb. This lets her defend 4 of it and move 3 spaces. So she's going to take 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's going to pick up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. And she'll spend 1 more to move 1 more. Okay. And he's got 1 action remaining. Okay. He's going to spend 4 more to draw 2 more cards. All right, and he still has to do his movements. So I'm going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3. And his final action he's going to play is Weight of the Past. This is an attack of 6, and I gain a favor even if there's no damage done. Unfortunately for her, all she has left is Biding Time, which is only going to stop 3 points of that, and will finish off her last point of health. So our poor assassin has been eliminated, and the nomad will continue wandering on his journey towards becoming the keeper. Well, I hope you found this video helpful in deciding whether or not this is one you want to back on Kickstarter. If you have any questions or comments, please post those in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them. Or swing by the Kickstarter's main communication page and drop any questions you have there as well. I'm sure the creators would love to hear from you and are more than happy to answer any questions you have. Until next time, I'll see you later.